The wedding invitation for my brother Marcus's wedding arrived with a note paperclip to it. Please dress appropriately. This is a high-profile event. High profile because Marcus was marrying Vanessa Chin, whose father owned 3 car dealerships across Connecticut. The wedding had a $90,000 budget and I'd heard about every dollar of it during the past 8 months. It's important that everything looks perfect, Mom said during our last phone call. Vanessa's family is very successful. Her brother runs their luxury division. Her sister manages their marketing firm. We need to make a good impression. I understand, I said like always. And Daniel, honey, maybe don't mention your little app thing during the reception? Vanessa's family might not understand that kind of work. They're traditional business people. My little app thing. The gaming startup I'd been running from my small apartment in San Jose for 3 years. The company Mom still introduced as Daniel's computer hobby when anyone asked. The reason I couldn't afford a house in the suburbs like Marcus, who worked as a regional sales manager for a manufacturing company. Sure, Mom. I flew in from California 2 days before the wedding. Marcus picked me up from the airport in his new BMW, talking the entire drive about Vanessa's family's connections, their country club membership, their vacation home in the Hamptons. Her dad plays golf with state senators, Marcus said. Real power players. This wedding is basically a networking event. Sounds important. It is. He glanced at me. Mom mentioned you might want to keep the gaming thing quiet. These people value real businesses, you know? Actual companies with physical products and employees. My company had 1,200 employees across 4 countries, but I didn't correct him. I never did. The rehearsal dinner was at an upscale steakhouse. Vanessa's family arrived in coordinated formal wear. Her father in a custom suit, her mother dripping in jewelry, her siblings looking like they'd stepped out of a country club catalog. My family tried to match the energy. Dad wore his best suit. Mom had gotten her hair done specially. My sister Jennifer kept dropping mentions of her boutique law firm position. I sat quietly at the end of the table in my blazer from Nordstrom Rack. Daniel works in computers, Mom explained when Vanessa's father asked what I did. It's a startup thing. Very casual, works from home mostly. Ah, Mr. Chin said with that tone that meant he'd lost interest. Gaming. Something like that. Well, everyone has hobbies. He turned back to Marcus. Your brother tells me you're up for a promotion. Sales director. The conversation moved on. I ate my steak and checked my phone twice. The Forbes team had been messaging about final edits on the feature they were running. The richest under 30 list. They wanted to confirm some revenue numbers before publication tomorrow. During the wedding. I approved the edits and put my phone away. No phones at the table, Daniel, Mom said sharply. This is a family dinner. Jennifer smirked. Probably checking his game scores. The table laughed. I smiled and apologized. That night, Marcus came to my hotel room. Hey, about tomorrow's photos. Mom wanted me to mention something. What's that? He looked uncomfortable. The photographer is really expensive. Like $8,000 expensive. And Vanessa's mom has this vision for the album. Very polished, very successful looking. You know how it is. Not really. They want the photos to show our best side. Family members with real careers and accomplishments. People who look the part. He rushed through it. So for the big group shots, they're going to position people strategically. You'll still be in them, obviously. Just maybe in the back or on the sides. Nothing personal. Behind other people. Kind of. Look, it's Vanessa's day. Her family is paying for everything. We just need to make them happy. I nodded slowly. Where exactly will I be positioned? Probably behind Cousin James. He's tall, so it works with the height arrangement. And he's doing well at the bank, so visually it makes sense to have him more prominent. Cousin James was a bank teller who still lived with his parents. But he wore suits to work, so apparently that made him more successful than someone who coded in hoodies. Sure, I said. Whatever makes the photos look good. Marcus looked relieved. Thanks for understanding. You've always been cool about this stuff. After he left, I sat on the hotel bed and stared at my phone. The Forbes article was scheduled to go live at 10 a.m. tomorrow. The wedding ceremony started at 2 p.m., photos at 3:30 p.m. I could have told them. I could have explained. But 3 years of Daniel's little computer hobby, and maybe get a real job, had taught me they wouldn't listen anyway. The wedding day was perfect. Clear skies, perfect temperature, flowers blooming on schedule. The ceremony was at an expensive estate venue with manicured gardens and a stone mansion as the backdrop. I sat in the fourth row, behind Vanessa's extended family and Marcus's work colleagues. During the ceremony, my phone vibrated continuously in my pocket. I'd turned off the sound but could feel the notifications coming in waves. The Forbes article had published. My publicist was forwarding press requests. Tech blogs were picking up the story. Twitter was exploding. I ignored it all and watched my brother get married. The photo session started immediately after the ceremony. The photographer, a stern woman named Helena who'd shot for Vogue, had a detailed shot list and clear expectations. Immediate family first, she announced. Then extended family groups. We're going for elegant, sophisticated, successful. Think country club catalog. She positioned people with mathematical precision. Mom and Dad in the center with Marcus and Vanessa. Jennifer on one side because attorney looked good. Uncle Robert on the other because he owned a plumbing business, which was tangible success. Daniel, you'll be in the back row, Helena directed. Behind James. Yes, right there. Perfect. Your height works well behind him. I stood behind cousin James, who smirked at being positioned more prominently than me. Behind me was only Aunt Carol, who was currently between jobs. This will look amazing in the album, Mom said, examining the setup. Very polished. Very accomplished. Helena started shooting. I stood there, partially obscured by James's broad shoulders, barely visible in what would become the official family wedding portrait. Daniel, stop checking your phone, Jennifer hissed. I wasn't checking it. I was feeling it vibrate nonstop in my pocket. The notifications were relentless now. Let's do extended family, Helena announced after 45 shots of the immediate family group. She began arranging aunts, uncles, cousins. I stayed in the back, behind James, behind Uncle Robert, partially hidden behind a bridesmaid who'd been pulled into the family shot. Helena was positioning Vanessa's family for the combined family portrait when her assistant rushed over and whispered something urgent. Helena's eyes widened. She looked at her phone, then scanned the group, her gaze landing on me. Excuse me, she said loudly. I need to reorganize something. We're almost done, Mom protested. No, I need to. Helena was scrolling on her phone rapidly. Is there a Daniel Chin in this group? Oh wait. Daniel, what's your last name? Morrison, I said quietly. Daniel Morrison. He stared at her screen, then at me. You're Daniel Morrison. The Daniel Morrison. The group went quiet. I don't understand, Vanessa's mother said. Helena held up her phone. Forbes just published their richest under 30 list. Daniel Morrison is number 7. He's worth $2.3 billion. The silence was absolute. That's impossible, Jennifer said. He makes games. Helena walked over to me, navigating through the carefully arranged family members. Phoenix Games. You founded Phoenix Games. The company that just got acquired by Microsoft for $8.5 billion 3 months ago. The acquisition finalized in March, I confirmed. You kept 27% equity. The article says your personal stake was worth $2.3 billion after the acquisition. You're also listed as Microsoft's youngest senior vice president at 29. Mom's face had gone completely white. Dad grabbed the back of a chair. Marcus looked like he'd been punched. Daniel works from home, Mom whispered. He plays video games. He built the 3rd largest mobile gaming platform in the world, Helena corrected, still reading. Phoenix Games has 85 million active users. The article says he started it with $12,000 and a laptop. He's been running it for 6 years, since he was 23. 6 years, Dad repeated. You've had this company for 6 years? Yes. The computer hobby, Jennifer said slowly, that we've been making fun of for 6 years. Helena was completely ignoring the shot list now. Mr. Morrison, I apologize, but I need to completely rearrange these photos. Having you hidden in the back of the frame I can't submit these to my portfolio like this. This is a significant person at this wedding. The photos are fine as they are, I said. They're absolutely not fine. He turned to Mom. You positioned a billionaire behind a bank teller? A Forbes list member behind, no offense to anyone, but behind people with regular jobs. We didn't know, Mom said weakly. How did you not know? Helena looked genuinely confused. This is your son. Your family member. No one had an answer for that. Vanessa's father had his phone out now. Microsoft acquisition. March 2024. $8.5 billion. Daniel Morrison, founder and CEO. He looked up at me. You negotiated with Microsoft executives? And stayed on as Senior VP of Gaming Division, I confirmed. I manage their entire mobile gaming strategy now. About 3,000 employees across my division. The computer hobby, Marcus said, his voice hollow. Helena was already repositioning people. Daniel, you're going front and center. This is absurd. Absolutely absurd. She started moving people with urgent efficiency. Marcus, Vanessa, you're on either side of him. Parents here. Jennifer here. This is my wedding, Marcus protested weakly. And you're lucky enough to have a billionaire brother who actually showed up after you've apparently been dismissing him for years. Helena was ruthless now. Do you know how many people would kill to have a Forbes under 30 billionaire in their wedding photos? The social capital alone. Helena, Vanessa's mother interrupted. Perhaps we should consider the optics here. Our family's business connections. Your family owns car dealerships, Helena said bluntly. He owns 27% of a company Microsoft paid $8.5 billion for. The optics are that you've been incredibly fortunate, and you should probably acknowledge that. She positioned me in the center of the frame. Mom and Dad on one side looking shell-shocked. Marcus and Vanessa on the other, Vanessa's expression completely unreadable. Jennifer was placed behind me, which felt like poetic justice. Cousin James, you're in the back now, Helena directed. Yes, behind Jennifer. That's right. James looked like he wanted to protest but couldn't find the words. Helena shot 40 more photos with the new arrangement, then moved to extended family groupings. Every single one had me prominently placed. She was treating it like a magazine shoot now, constantly checking angles and lighting on me specifically. The light catches him perfectly here, she muttered. This will be incredible for my portfolio. Photographed Forbes billionaire at intimate family wedding. This is career-making. Uncle Robert approached me carefully during a lighting adjustment. Daniel, I had no idea. We all thought that I was wasting my life? He flinched. We just didn't understand. I tried to explain. Multiple times. Kept my voice level. 2 Thanksgivings ago I mentioned the Series C funding round. Mom said I should stop making up business terms to sound important. Last Christmas I talked about our user growth metrics. Dad said I should focus on getting a real job with a 401k. The money you lent me, Uncle Robert said slowly. For the plumbing business expansion. The $50,000. You said it was from savings. It was. You're worth $2.3 billion and you let me think $50,000 was your life savings? You needed help. The amount didn't matter. Jennifer appeared at my other side. The loan for my law school. The $85,000 that mysteriously paid off my debt. That was you. Yes. You let us think it was a grant. A scholarship thing. You needed to focus on passing the bar, not on debt. Mom was crying now, being comforted by Vanessa's mother. Dad stood apart from the group, staring at nothing. Marcus hadn't moved from his position, still processing. The reception started an hour late because Helena refused to stop shooting. She wanted every possible angle, every grouping, everything that would showcase the billionaire brother in her portfolio. When we finally moved to the reception hall, the energy had completely shifted. Vanessa's family, who'd been treating my family like charity cases all weekend, were suddenly deferential. Mr. Chen pulled me aside 3 times to discuss potential business synergies between his dealerships and Microsoft's automotive technology division. I had no idea you were so connected, he said. We should talk about partnerships. Strategic opportunities. I'm focused on gaming, not automotive, I replied politely. Still, having you at family dinners, getting your input on business decisions, your family now. We take care of family. Family. Now that they knew my net worth. During dinner, Marcus finally approached me. His face was red, his expression somewhere between humiliated and angry. You let us look like idiots, he said quietly. I let you treat me honestly, I corrected. You thought I was unsuccessful, so you treated me like I was unsuccessful. Now you know differently. You could have told us. I tried. For 6 years I tried. You decided it was a hobby and refused to hear anything else. The photos, his voice cracked. My wedding photos have you front and center. Not me. You. That's what Helena wanted. Because you're a billionaire. He sat down heavily. My wedding is going to be remembered as the day everyone found out about you, not about me and Vanessa. Then maybe you should have asked about my life before planning photo arrangements based on assumptions. He didn't have an answer for that. The Forbes article made rounds through the reception. Every guest had seen it by the time dinner was served. The conversations shifted from discussing Marcus's promotion to discussing my company, my acquisition, my position at Microsoft. People who'd ignored me at the rehearsal dinner were suddenly eager to talk. I left early before the cake cutting. I had a meeting with Microsoft's board in the morning via video call, and a flight back to San Jose in the afternoon. Mom called 15 minutes after I left. I didn't answer. She called 18 more times that night. Dad called 7. Jennifer sent a long text about how they'd misunderstood and wanted to properly celebrate my success. Marcus sent one message: "We need to talk about the photos. We can't use them like this." I replied, "Helena owns the photos. That's between you and her." 3 weeks later, I heard through Jennifer that Helena had submitted the wedding photos to several photography magazines. One was running a feature titled, "When the Back Row Turns Out to Be the Billionaire," a photography lesson in assumptions. The photos went semi-viral in photography circles. Marcus was furious. Vanessa's family was mortified. Mom was devastated that their family dynamics were being analyzed by strangers online. I received a formal letter from Marcus asking me to request Helena remove the photos from publication. I declined. 6 months later, Marcus and Vanessa sent a Christmas card. Inside was a long handwritten note apologizing for the misunderstanding and hoping we could move forward as a family. They wanted to know if I'd be interested in investing in a business opportunity Vanessa's father had identified. I sent back a card with a simple message: "I hope you're well." The photos turned out beautifully. Mom emails occasionally now. She's careful, measured, clearly aware that every interaction might be her last chance. She asks about my work, but in a way that shows she's finally bothered to Google what I actually do. She mentions how proud they are, how they've always known I was special. I reply politely but briefly. The same energy I got for 6 years. Minimal, distracted, treating me as an afterthought. Jennifer called last month asking if I'd speak at her firm's corporate event. "It would really help my career to have a billionaire speaker," she said. "Plus, family helping family." I told her my speaking fee for corporate events was $150,000 and I was booked for the next 8 months. She didn't call back. I'm in San Jose now, running Microsoft's mobile gaming division and developing new AI integration for interactive entertainment. My apartment overlooks the bay. I brief the CEO monthly and coordinate strategy with teams across 12 countries. And when I look at photos, I choose the ones where I'm standing front and center, exactly where I belong. My family thought the wedding album should show their best side. Turns out it did, just not in the way they expected.